Alternate win cons are funny, be it the cheese standalone or the 5 pieces of Exodia. Beating your opponent in non-conventional ways makes card games both memorable and interesting. If every game ended in simply reducing your opponent's health to 0, things would get stale very quickly. Universus, my favourite card game, is no stranger to alternate win cons either. In Universus, there's 2 types of alternative win cons, character specific and mechanic specific. Knife Edge Deathmatch. This is Chu's staple card. A 5 diff 5 mid 5 with stun 1. Nothing too outrageous given some of the cards in the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament set. But where this card shines is the Chu Enhance. If they don't block this card and have 8 or more commit foundations, they straight up just lose the game. Paired with cards like Protecting Whitestone or Quirk Expertise to change its zone into something harder to block, as well as building in order to get your opponents to commit out, this is one of the easier alternate win cons to achieve in the game. So common in fact that almost every Chu deck you'll come across will have this in here. I am a Hero 2. Jiro, my beloved. Kyoka Jiro 2's whole character is built around this mechanic. After her attack deals damage, add 3 applause counters to her. Then, once you reach 25 applause counters, I Am a Hero 2 has a 1A specific enhance, which is an uncancelable ability that automatically wins her the game. Like Chu, it's hard to find a Jiro 2 deck which isn't running this as their primary win mechanic. With burner cards like Muscle Rush and Spirit Shotgun, or any throw guaranteeing those hits, as well as her own package giving out counters like Chocolate at Christmas, these applause counters will be shooting up very quickly. Heidi. Moving on into Retro, we have Heidi, a mech pilot from Red Horizon. Her gimmick is that the first form of her turn, she can attach any Krieger mech from your hand onto her, but upon taking damage, she has to remove one. If you have all 5 of the unique mechs attached to her, including Krieger Denacht, you win the game. This is one of the harder character-specific win cons due to having to constantly block and negate damage. Nicholas the Saint. Now for a very niche pick, a legacy promo from 2007 had the festive behemoth himself as a character. His ability? He starts with 12 Xmas counters on him, and once per turn, he gives the opponent a card from their discard pile in exchange for removing a counter. Once all the counters are gone, you win the game. Given that this is a form ability, you have to make it to your 12th turn at minimum to pull this off. The restriction of counters only being removed by his character's ability means that cards like Combined Perfect Form or Micro Oxygen Beam can't help expedite the counter removal. However, cards such as Happy Holidays giving you the grace of non-combat turns and Rando's Spirit Gun allowing you to trigger once per turn abilities more than once certainly makes it not the most unviable alternate win con out there, but still one of the harder ones. Sure, these character specific abilities are cool and all, but once you see the character, you'll know they're aiming for that alternate win con and thus the opponent can work around them. So what about more universal ones? Spreading the word. A fun little foundation that you can commit and put a pamphlet counter on one of your opponent's foundations. Then, once 10 or more of your opponent's foundations have pamphlet counters on them, at the start of your combat phase, you win the game. Because you can have up to 4 of a card in a deck, if you manage to get all 4 of these out on the field, this can be achieved in around 3 turns. However, that relies on the luck of card drawing or having to search your deck for them. Realistically, you're looking at maybe double the amount of turns. Not to mention that if your opponent is running any form of foundation removal, they can simply destroy and replace those you put counters on. In doing research for this video, I theory crafted a recovery guard deck centering around grabbing them from your discard pile, refreshing your foundations, and a little bit of life gain to make sure you're staying alive enough to see it until the end. Distraction Destruction. A fun card from the original Cowboy Bebop set back in 2018. It forces your opponent to add cards into their momentum, and if they have 8 or more momentum, will automatically trigger the win for you. Any characters that adds opponent's cards into the momentum, such as Daedorus Sakaki, Twinkle Murdoch, and Tira, should be running this attack. Close to the edge. Ringouts are an alternate win con in Soul Calibur games, so why wouldn't it be one in Universus? This asset requires you to have 2 of them in your stage, and for your attack to deal 6 damage in a single hit. Meet these 2 requirements and boom, you've got yourself a quick and easy win. Combine this with some powerful throws or a lot of speed buffs and it could be considered the easiest win con in this list. Fatality. How could I talk about the fighting game card game and not mention Fatality? The flashy, over-the-top, gory finishes from Mortal Kombat exist in this game, and it's one hell of a win con, relying on the retro-only mechanic of desperation, your rival being at half health or lower, and needing them to be in deadlock, having 11 or more foundations on their stage. Comboing one fatality off another gives you an uncancelable enhance to secure victory. There is, however, one downside. It's banned in all retro format. Final thoughts. I love alternate win cons. I think they're such a wonderful expression of deck building, allowing those who struggle to win in conventional means to have a chance at securing victory through other mechanics. My only true gripe with the alternate win cons in Universus is that there isn't enough of them. Maybe this is due to the faster paced one-on-one nature of the game, where striking quick and hard is the preferred playstyle of the vast majority of players, denying those who may need the time to set up these alternate win cons that option. I think some are absolutely wonderful, such as Jiro's applause counters and Fatality / Close to the Edge, for the flavour it gives to the game and the characters, while some, like Nicholas the Saint or Spreading the Word, are just a bit too much hassle to be viable. But that all said, I'd love to see more of them in future sets, especially if they're more accessible than some of the previous ones. I don't know how to end videos. Bye.